All right, and we're live. Hey guys, my name is Success. How are you all doing today? This is my first live video. So you get a chance to ask questions, you get a chance to interact with me, and then we are going to make this successful. So with me, I have a guest. For reasons best known to her, she doesn't want to show her face, but she is going to be answering some questions. So she's the one I said came into the US for a master's degree program without NCLEX, and she's going to get her nurse practitioner license. So she's going to answer questions when it comes to the school pathway, how she did it, and all of that. And then I will be here to answer your questions about my transition to practice and everything that I did to get used to the system here. So if you're ready, let me know in the comment section and we will kick this section off. Okay, I have one person right now. That's awesome. Okay, do you want to tell us your name or you still want to remain anonymous guest?
I'll tell you my name. I can tell you my name. Do you think we should wait for a little more people to join? Maybe you can put it on your Insta or something.
Yeah, I put it on already. Maybe okay. Oh, okay, one person is here. We're five now. Let
Okay.
me wait till maybe give them 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, post it on your status or anywhere so more people can join. I see you say we're ready. That's great. Okay. Hi, Chiagozim. Hi, Ronnie. Hi, Zohaib. Greetings from Abu Dhabi. Welcome. We're starting soon. I just want to get a few more people in. Hi, Zainab. Okay, we'll start at 9:05. Just give it a 5 minutes African time. Hi, Basari. Welcome. Thank you guys for tuning in and for leaving the comments. That's encouraging. Okay, 1 minute to go. Guys, my mom is here. Hi, Isioma. Hi, Yetunde. Welcome. All right, it's 9:05. I guess we can start now. Every other person can join us later. So for oh yay, she showed her face. Oh my god, that's awesome. It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'll just adjust my camera. One moment. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay. Are we ready now?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so before we get into the serious gist for today, I just like to ask some questions just to get to know our guests better and just to lighten up the mood. I did not send you these questions, so don't be caught unaware, but they are really easy. Okay, so what's your biggest pet peeve? Just random question.
What's my what?
Biggest pet peeve.
Hmm, I don't know.
Something you cannot take.
I don't know. Really.
Okay. Um, do you prefer, are you a night or a morning nurse?
Actually, I was. I really don't know, and I really can't tell because I did not work for a long time as a nurse in Nigeria.
Mhm.
I did all shifts while I was in Nigeria. I did the 3 shift, but I did not like night shift.
Okay,
So
so you're a morning person.
yeah, but I really can't tell my favorite now because I did not spend so much time working as a nurse. Yeah,
In each of them. Okay. All right. So far you've been in the US. Which one do you prefer, USA or Nigeria?
it's complicated.
Okay, we'll get to that later. All right. So first of all, introduce yourself. Just tell us your name, where you're from, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, my name is Omi Elizabeth Ali, and I'm from Nigeria. I lived in Ibadan when I was Ibadan, Oyo State, and right now I'm in Michigan, United States. Yeah.
Okay, welcome. So tell us how many years of nursing experience you had and like what units you practiced in, just to get to know a bit of your career background.
Okay. So I practiced in the med surg unit, like because okay. So let me just start this. I graduated last year, 2022.
Mhm.
I graduated my bachelor's degree last year.
Okay.
So I ship this year, March, 1st of March this year. So I did not complete my internship, which is
Okay.
so best, but I didn't complete my internship because I had the opportunity to like come here, which I would definitely choose that over internship. So I just worked for 5 months while I was in us, yeah. And I worked in the med surgery because I was a new grad, or I am a new grad because I just graduated
Okay.
like so
2022. Oh, that
yeah.
was fast. Okay. Guys, is it audible? Someone said from my side the live chat is not audible. Can you hear me? Can you hear her? Okay, go on to the response.
Yeah, so I graduated last year, so I'm just like a new grad, and I like to like talk about it because most people don't believe that new grads have a lot of potentials as nurses. They believe you are limited to have work experience before you can,
Yeah.
that, which is not true. So I like to talk as a new grad, you've got to like explore.
Yep, that's very true. I'm just hearing that for the first time actually. I didn't also know that you could actually finish immediately and apply for your master's without internship, without serving NYC or any of that. So
It's
this is new information for everybody. Um, so basically, why did you want to leave? Was it the situation you saw, or from the beginning, like when you started nursing, you knew you were gonna leave, or you actually came into nursing to leave? Huh?
I was, I was so passionate about leaving. I was so desperate to leave. I actually was not particular about the US at first. I just wanted to like get out of Nigeria. I wanted,
Okay.
yeah, I just wanted to get out of Nigeria. I wanted to like do something. So while I was still in my 400 level, yeah, 400 level,
Mhm.
friend of mine that is a nurse, she's my senior. So I saw that while she was in school, we always talked about going abroad and all of that. And I just saw that she went to the UK, and I was like, how did you do it?
Yeah.
I would say that was what made me so passionate traveling. So while I was in 400 level, I started researching from 400 level, like from my semi
Wow.
still 500 level for me. Oh. So I started researching. I was obsessed with researching. My classmates knew me. Like I would rather not even read for my semester
Oh
exams.
my God.
Hours on YouTube, hours after hours, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. watching videos, researching on how I can just leave immediately after I graduate because I did not want to like stay back. I wanted to leave after graduation. So I would say the research started 2021. I started researching
Okay.
about moving really early, and I would have said I would say that's what paid off for me as a new grad because I started researching very early. And
Okay.
why US? Yeah, I really wanted to come to the US because I didn't like. I mean, did you know? I didn't like Nigeria. Not like I didn't like nursing in Nigeria, but of course we're not paid like we should.
Yeah. Yes.
There's or the Canada pays better. Like there's a better life in all of these countries. So I'll say that's why I wanted to leave because I wanted a better life, something like that.
Okay, that makes sense. So, guys, you can hear her first thing is research. Research. That's like 90% of the job done. 80. um. So, what's the name of your school right now, and what course are you studying?
Okay, Michigan University, and I'm studying my master's in nursing, practitioner um, major.
Can you say the name of the school again? I didn't hear it very well.
Eastern Michigan
Eastern
University.
Michigan University. Okay, and you're studying.
Master's in nursing, family nurse practitioner. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
I thought you said geriatrics. Yeah, I can hear you, but sometimes the voice is seasoned. Did you
Sorry.
say geriatrics or family nurse practitioner?
Okay, so I came in for geriatrics at the beginning. That was
Yeah.
what I did. But when I got here, so my professor told me that I could swap, that
Okay.
so she advised me that the FMP was better than the
Yes.
adult.
Yeah. It
So
actually
before,
gives you more. Yeah. Sorry, it actually gives you more flexibility to work anywhere and
Mhm,
with any patient. Like you can work from pediatrics to adults, but unlike the adult geriatric, you only work with adults. So,
mhm,
guys, if you don't know what the FMP is, it's family nurse practitioner in the US. They can prescribe medications. They're like doctors. It's like primary care medicine kind of thing. They can work in the hospital. They can work in clinics. They can own. I think they can own their own practice now in Atlanta, but in other states, you have to, I think you have to have a collaborating doctor. We can also own our own practice in Arizona. So it's state by state, different state rules, and they're independent practices in most states. So you're just like you're like a professional on your own, a provider. So it's a very good leap to see someone without so much experience, just 5 months, like come out of school and a master's program for this program. So if this is your goal, is actually possible. I never knew this was possible until I actually met her. So if you're here and you want to learn more, this is actually something that you can
mhm.
tap into. So first of all, the name of the school she said was Eastern Michigan University. So you can put it down among the list of schools you want to research and apply to. All right, so let's go on. What was the process like from the beginning? What was the first thing you had to do? Just briefly explain the whole process for us and how long it took you.
Okay, so it took me, I would say, the whole process took me 5 months, like getting there from when I started the application into the
Yeah.
school, particular school that I am, and till when I got my visa approved, it was 5 months. So,
Wow.
but I would say when I actually started like processing the US, it wasn't 5 months.
Yeah.
So I started processing the US like a year ago, like even before I graduated. Like I think it was the August 2022. I graduated August 2022. Yeah, the same month I graduated was when I started submitting applications to schools. So I submitted applications to about, I think, 9 schools. Yeah, 9 different schools. I submitted applications, applying for masters. It was not just masters in nursing. It was masters in programs like public health. I was
Hmm.
open, like anything, may I just enter.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just nursing. I applied for so many different programs. I think there was a time I applied for exercise physiology, applied for psych. G. I applied for public health, nursing, like so many graduate programs that I applied for. Like I was very open, and I'll say that that's it. That's what I would advise people to do. Don't be particular on, oh, I must do this or nothing. You will get yourself down. So, but again, you have to like follow your path. What you feel you really want to do is what you
Yeah,
should go. So
that's
yeah,
very good. But you're even lucky to get. I think this is just the best you got out of all the courses you mentioned, because this is like straight in your pathway. You get
yeah.
to get your license and then you get to start practicing. So what was the first thing you do after submitting an application? What did you need? Did you need IELTS? Did you need OET? Like what documents did you have to submit? Just walk us through the whole pathway.
Okay, so when I started the whole US thing, I made up my mind that I wasn't going to write IELTS. I was not ready to read for IELTS. Like, the minute I'm applying to schools alone, they want me to have the mental stress of preparing for IELTS.
Yeah.
So my narrowed down to schools without IELTS. Like the first thing I check is, oh, they're gonna waive the IELTS for you if you are from an English speaking country. So all of the schools I applied to, none of them required me to write IELTS. So I did not write IELTS. But I know I'm still gonna write IELTS along the line for you can start working. So IELTS. But I wanted to get in before I wrote the IELTS. So no IELTS. And then the application fee too was huge, man. Like
Oh.
so you applied to, some had the application fee waived. And I would say most of the schools that I applied to that had the application fee waived, I either lost the admission. I mean, I got denied rather because I didn't get all that. I didn't all the schools I applied to. I was not admitted. Like I got about four rejections. Like they sent me the heartbreak letter. That's what. Sorry, we can't take you.
Yeah.
Rejection letters, and then the one that with the application fee that I got admitted, there was no funding at all. Do you understand? So when there's no funding, that's like no admission, no funding, no admission. So all of this waived the application fee for me. So I would just advise people not to be deceived when you see a school waiving application fee. Just know
Yeah.
it's not the best, but you should go for it. That doesn't mean you should still not like apply. Put in your
Apply. Yeah.
friend that came here also. His application fee was waived. He got fully funded. Like he really spent nothing. No application fee, no IELTS, full funding, and he was able to get in. So it's really possible for you to go to a school where the application fee is waived and then you get funded. But it's just that most schools that waive the application fee, they don't have funding for you. Like they don't have funding. They just want you to put in your application, and then at the end of the day, they will still deny you. Some of them will deny you admissions. So it's still just like that. So for my school particularly, the application fee was it? I can't. One moment. I knew that altogether, all I spent on the application was about $270 to apply
Okay.
to this
Okay.
270 application because I had to do evaluation of my nursing education with the evaluation company. I was supposed to do it with West. I did not use West. I was supposed to use West, but West was too expensive. If I had used West, it would have cost me about $310. So
Mm.
look for a evaluation company that was approved by my
By
school,
okay.
approved other um what's it called? Other evaluation companies. Some schools will
Yeah.
specifically tell you West or nothing. But my school
Mm.
gave that you could go for West, I could go for Span or Erase and all of that. So I chose Spantran, which was it was the cheapest for me. So at the end
Okay.
of it, 270. So why it was 270 was that Spantran was like $190, and then the application fee itself on nursing class because I didn't apply on my school this thing. You know nursing class, right? Do you? Nursing, okay,
No.
nursing, a nursing application portal for strictly nursing programs in the United States. I don't know about Canada, but I know it's for nursing
Okay.
programs. It cost me $80 to apply for that, and then
Okay.
altogether fee cost me application in January. this year, January 2023. In fact, I submitted January, 1st of January 2023 was when I submitted my application after crossover night. And
Wow.
this year or nothing.
Ah, good. You held on to God's garment.
Remember the
Wow.
question? I was like, God, this year we have to enter the US. And I can remember that same day, God just did it miraculously. I was able to like submit my application for
Is the
the school.
nursing cast like a website where all the schools are, or that's where you submit your application if you're coming as a nursing international student? Like, explain more about the nursing cast.
Okay, so the nursing class is a portal. It's like a portal to submit applications, various schools in the United States, various states. But some schools do not use nursing class. Some schools will ask you to submit the application directly to them, while some schools will ask you to submit the application through nursing. But most nursing schools I've seen, about 70% of nursing schools I've seen in the United States, they will always tell you to application through nursing class. So it doesn't matter whether you're an international student or not. You just
Okay.
have to through the nursing class. So that's the way. For my school, I had to submit it through nursing class, and I've seen so many other schools like that. For like
Okay.
Columbia in New York, you nursing class. You just
Okay.
submit it. If I'm right, well, I don't think you have to use.
So you contact the school first and they tell you where to submit it to, not like you just go to nursing class to submit it. No,
You
okay.
and they tell you where to
Okay.
submit it.
Okay. So after submitting the application, what next? How long did it take them to send you the email? Congratulations, you've been accepted and all of that.
So 1st of February, I got my admission. I submitted my admission in my application 1st of January. So I waited for a month to get the admission decision.
Okay. And then after that, what next? What did they ask you to do?
Okay, so they asked me to submit bank statement and all of those things now. And they asked me, okay, at the time when I got my admission, there was no funding. Like I was not funded at all. But I think March, so I got some kind of funding in March, graduate assistantship. So in March, I could not even submit bank statement because of course I don't have that kind of money. But so I
How
was
much did they ask for?
eh?
How much did they ask for the bank statement?
Bank statement for international student for my school, it's
Mhm.
I think 42,000 something 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 that you have to show. That's like the cost of attendance, not the
Mm.
tuition. Cost of
Yeah.
attendance includes cost of living and all of that. So I had to show a bank statement of like 42,000, which obviously I don't have. so
Forty
I had
thousand dollars. Wow.
so I had to look for funding. So rather than looking for bank statement, I was hustling for funding.
So if
From
you have funding, you don't have to show bank statements.
Yeah, but it all depends on the kind of funding. If you're fully funded, you might have to show bank statement for just the little fees, maybe about $1,000, $2,000,
Okay.
because most graduate assistantship funding are always like they cover tuition most times. But for some schools, the funding could be like fully funded where you do not have to show no bank statement. Like they cover fees. But for my school, it was just tuition. So you still have to show some kind of bank statement for other fees that will cover and all of that.
So more like your housing, your feeding, you're taking care of that by yourself, but the school is paying your tuition.
Yes. But when I got the funding, it wasn't even like if 100% funding. It was just 50. It was 50%. So I still had to show bank statement of the rest. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and thankfully, God provided the bank statement. So
Yes, definitely. So with the 50% bank, 50% funding, do you still have to work as a graduate assistant?
yes, you have to work for the department as a graduate assistant.
Like how many hours a week did they tell you to work?
Because it's a 50% appointment, you just work 10 hours for your department. So if it was a fully funded scholarship or a fully funded graduate assistantship, you would have to work for your department 20 hours, which is the normal 20 hours for international student.
Okay, so now it's just 10 hours you have to work.
Like do other stuff and work somewhere else.
Okay. So guys, if you don't know what graduate assistantship is, it's like a program most universities for advanced studies offer So you work with a lecturer, you assist the lecturer basically. Do you mark, like, do you grade assignments, or you just help with research outside? It
Okay,
depends on what they ask you to do though, yeah.
depends on your on whatever your coordinator tells you to do. So because this is my first semester, which is finishing in like 3 weeks, so I'm just starting like gradually. I have to
Yeah.
shadow like my seniors that are already graduate assistants, because it's actually a teaching graduate assistantship. So we teach undergrad practical, what we call
Okay.
in Nigeria, like
Yeah.
where we have
Skills
to do
lab. Yes.
a lab. You teach undergrad lab, something like that. So that's what I do. Yeah. So you teach
Wow.
like that, preparing to write on. That's it.
Because I get a lot of questions like, oh, how do I apply for scholarship? How do I apply for funding? But what I'm getting from this and what I've known is that you have to apply to the school first, or you can look for schools that have potential for funding. And then when you get the admission, that's when you now talk to your maybe student advisor to give you the list of fundings that the school have, and then you start applying to each of them. So that's how it works. You don't just go look for a scholarship first. I think you have to look for a school first before getting the funding. So to get the funding, was there any additional documents you had to prove? Did you have to write any personal statement, letter, or anything to show that you can actually teach, or like what made you stand out to get that funding?
Okay. I would say. Okay. Yeah, I had to submit a special application for the funding, like a school application. I had to put in cover letter, a resume. I had to submit recommendation letters because there's a portal on that my school has. Sorry, there's a portal that my school has where you have your application for graduate assistantship. So I had to do that separately, and yeah, so all of that. And I would say why I don't really know. I'll first of all say God's grace made me get the funding. Truth be told, it's not like I'm quite, because there are people here too that wants the funding, something like that. So it's first of all God's grace that helped me to get the funding. And I would say communication is very important. Like communication to your prospective graduate coordinator is very important. So this school, I've actually started communicating with them since 2021, and I graduated. So
Mm,
like I even graduated, I already like communicated with the admission officer. I communicated
yeah.
coordinator. I coordinated with the program coordinator of the entire department. So they like, I would say they knew me already.
Mhm. Yeah.
I like I attended their live informative sections. Like I think 2022 April, I attended it. So the admission officer, like she knew me. She literally would even like send me emails personally, like, "Oh, you can get funding through this." That was way before I graduated. Way before I
Mm,
graduated. Like, you can
yeah.
get So I always tell them that, oh, I will just send an email. I'm a prospective student. I want to come in 2023. So that's
Mm.
study. I will let them know that, oh, I'm not coming in like a year from now.
More,
I'm
yeah. Yeah.
eager. So I kept
Mhm.
hammering coming in for 2023 so that anything we get from me, I bet keep.
Keep up. Yeah, that's very good communication. Wow, that's this whole thing does not apply to only nursing. So
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about like how to come into the US for students, like for masters. It doesn't apply to only, it applies to every master's degree. If you're here and you're not a nurse and you want to apply for master's program in the US, this is the same thing. It's the same thing. It's not just nursing. Create contacts with these schools, communicate, ask them questions, and then they'll tell you how to apply to their school, and then apply to the schools funding. But I think the first thing you need to do in your research is schools that easily take international students, right? And schools that have funding, because not every school are open to international students. Some schools are way more expensive than the others. Some schools don't have enough a lot of funding. So that's where your research is going to come from. And then the school that has a course you want to study, right? All
Yeah.
right. So, in the application, what did they ask you to? I'm taking you back to the beginning again. I just wanted to like be clear. So, if someone is like writing down stuff that they need before
Okay.
graduation, after graduation, they can get a clear picture. So, application, you just filled out a form application letter. You submitted your resume,
Mm-hmm.
cover letter. Did you have to have a personal statement for the application?
Yeah, I wrote a personal statement.
Personal statement. Okay. You did not write IELTS because you were looking for schools that would take Nigerians without IELTS, right? Okay. But if you want to write IELTS, guys, you go ahead. It just broadens your options of schools. But like, if you're like, hi, and you don't want that stress, you can streamline your search to schools that would take you as a Nigerian without IELTS. What else did you have to have? Okay, bank statements. What else was on the application that you needed to prove? That's
I
it.
don't. Yeah, that's it. And then you and your department has to like collaborate on your NCLEX issues. But that one is like you and your department. You
Okay,
have
we're coming to that. Yes. Now,
yeah.
someone just asked, can someone apply without a BNSC? So this is a master's program. No, you have to have a BNSC to apply for the master's program after bachelor's BSc. So if you're a diploma nurse, you would want to get your bachelor's first. And the USA doesn't really have like what the UK has, like top up BSN for international students. At least none that I know of. I don't want to say does not have, but I've tried to make research. I even made some research before coming to this video because I know someone's gonna ask. I have not seen or heard of any program for RN to BSc for international students. Most of them require you to have the US license. So if you have the US license and you're in Nigeria or you're in the UK, there might be some schools that might waive it for you. But they're not going to let you come in. It's going to be fully online. It's going to be fully online because I heard of one person who like started doing the program in the UK for a school, but it like took him a lot of proving to make that he's going to come in this year. So it's not really easy for RN to BSN, but like BSN to masters, BSN to PhD, and all of that, you can actually do it. So for BSN to masters now, which is what she did not need to have a license to do it because it's masters, it's educational route. Finish um Finish her bachelor's, now she's applying to masters. But what actually blew me off was the fact that the program she's doing is a family nurse practitioner. That is, you have to be able to have a license to provide, and then she needs to be able to go for clinicals. So I always thought that a license would be required for that kind of program. But hearing from her that they did not require her license, but how long did they give you to have that license before you start clinicals, or how long into the program do you have to have a US license?
1 year.
Oh, 1 year. So you have 1 year to do the whole thing I always talk about in my channel, like the CGFNS or Joseph Suni, apply to board, take your NCLEX. That is more than enough time for someone who is already here. Like if you even do it, like just follow all the steps, you can finish it in 6 months. That's what I tell people. Like I've had someone start the whole process and write the NCLEX within 5 months, literally. So it's very possible. Someone said, I heard you said you are working while studying. Did you write the NCLEX exam to get a license to practice? Me or her? Okay, definitely her.
Do you want me to
She's not.
answer?
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, answer.
I do not work as a nurse. I just work in my department as a teaching assistant. I do other on-campus jobs. So right now I'm not working as a nurse. I'm just reading as a nurse. Yeah, that's it.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So she's reading as a nurse, not working as a nurse.
That
So to work as a nurse, you need a license. To read as a nurse, you need your paper certificates. Okay. Can I still use the same agencies you posted if my route is the UK? Those agencies are like the one on my channel, they're for US. I don't think they recruit to the UK. So UK now you have to do it yourself. Agencies are not recruiting to the UK anymore. For Nigeria. I don't know about other countries. Okay. Before I go to the next question, I think there was one more question I had to ask you. Um, okay, let me go to the next question. I think it kind of escaped my mind. Can one work as a nurse during master's program if one already has a license?
I'll say I really don't know. It could be tough because the master's program itself, it's a lot. It will like take a lot of your time. Like when I came here, my advisor, the first thing she told me was that when I have my license, she was like, "You're not working right. Like you're gonna finish your program before you start working." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna finish my program because I mean it's a lot, especially if you are an international student and you're on F1 visa, you're limited, especially. But for those that are already here, maybe citizens or permanent residency, they absolutely like all of my classmates are nurses. They work as a nurse and they're still doing their master's program, but they are all citizens. Like, they have their PR or their citizens, so they have enough time to do whatever they want to do. But you came in as a student, you are definitely on F1 visa, so you are limited. Even if you have your license, I think you are limited. Only if there are other ways around it, that I don't know, maybe get your OPT and do internship to get more hours, all of that thing that I'm still going to be involved in later on. But I really don't know. But I'm just maybe later, maybe a year from now, I can answer better. I can answer the
Okay.
question.
But your visa allows has a work permit. Your visa allows you to work, right?
Yes, he
Yeah,
does.
so I think at this point it depends on the hospital. Like once you get your license and you want to work as a nurse with your license, it depends on the hospital. Some hospitals will take you with the F1 visa as long as it has like the work authorization, and then probably some will need like a permanent resident thing. So yes, you can, but then as an
Okay.
international student, you're here for one go. You have that visa, right? And I feel like you should not put yourself through that stress of trying to manage working because you're going to go for clinicals, you're going to
Yeah.
like this course you're doing is advanced, like you're going to I keep telling
So,
you, this is prescribing. It's not easy. Like it's way different from nursing that you just take orders and you do what they ask you to do and all that. Now you're like in charge of the care. Like it's a lot. So I feel like you should actually concentrate. But yeah, like if you have your permanent residence and your citizenship, you have to survive. Like I'm also in school, but I'm working full time, so it's
um,
um so your visa, what like I hear people get to the embassy and they still deny their visa. So is
yeah,
that something wrong that you think they did on their part, or do you think that it's just a your luck kind of thing, like if God wants you to go or not? Like was there something you had to show them for the visa interview that made them approve your visa?
I'll say it was God.
God, honestly, like
It was God's mercy. Like, I'm not joking. It was not because I didn't even have full funding. I mean, when I went for the interview, I just had 50% funding. And then the
yeah.
interview, oh, who's gonna pay for the rest? And I explained my petition. Like I was like what I practiced to say, I told him, and it was like, okay, I'll approve your visa. Like it didn't even allow me to finish talking. It just said I'll approve it. So
Oh,
the visa thing is God's grace because right now in Nigeria they deny a lot of people applying for visa. Like a lot of you hear, like I was on chat when we're hunting for visa dates. You hear people's stories saying they applied 10 times. Some people have been
oh
on
my
it,
God.
getting denied, and so everything really is just God. That's all. Like that visa thing is unexplainable. Just God. Like only God can help you get visa.
Yeah,
Serious.
because it's US thing. Like you have your admission. Some people haven't gone as far as paying school fees, but they still get denied. So
Yeah.
guys, like
Some,
hold
some
on to God very well when you're on this journey.
some are fully funded and they still
Yeah.
get like before you even get
I,
a date to like get an interview. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's crazy. So that visa thing, I'll just say before you go, as they are lining up, just be scaboshing. Do you know, just be like, kidding, but because it's God that can help with the visa thing. Oh. It's only God. That's all I have to say that thing. It's just God, really.
okay, as long just get all your documents ready
Mm.
for the interview, go with confidence, but then still like it's just God because they still deny visas still now. That was my fear. That's why I asked. But God did it for you. He did everything within this year, like from the application even until landing. Say
Yeah.
again.
Without funding at all. Like some of them get their visa approved also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Able to like yourself and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's answer the next question here. It says I had a first degree in early childhood and primary education before getting my diploma in nursing. Can I apply for masters with my first degree and then transition to nursing when I get to the US?
Yeah, I mean you can apply for masters with with a bachelor's degree, any masters. But if you don't have a bachelor's degree in nursing, you cannot apply for a master's degree in nursing. You have to have a bachelor's degree in nursing to get a master's degree in nursing. But for any bachelor's, you can apply if you did a health related background, you can apply for your public master's in public health, and then later cross into nursing. But the thing is, if you want to cross into master's in nursing, like I said, you need a bachelor's. Even if you already have your license, even if you've passed your, like, you already have your license, you need a bachelor's to get in for master's. But now there are varieties of like master's where you can get RN to M, and
Yes.
there's even one that you don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to like have a bachelor's in nursing. If you have your bachelor's in like maybe public health, pharmacy, you have a background that is health related, you can get into your MSN program. But this kind of MSN program, they are different. They are different kind of MSN program. So somebody that RN to BSN it's not the same. I don't think it's the same MSN program, MSN certificate that you get with someone that went from BSN to MSN. So someone that went from BSN to MSN is becoming a nurse practitioner. Someone that went from someone that just maybe pharmacy to MSN, you are getting the MSN to like get your license. Do you understand? You're not becoming a nurse practitioner. So it's
Yeah.
just like a bachelor on your. Do you understand? Because if you
Mhm.
have a background, like maybe bachelor's in pharmacy or bachelor's in public health, and you want to come in for your MSN, it's very possible. There are a lot of that, but you are still going to sit for the NCLEX exam. You're still going to the 2 years is for the it's just like a nursing degree that is 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just go deep into nursing and get your license. So there are different kind of MSN programs that you can get into.
Yes, that's very true. Because I also have a cousin that moved from accounting here to nursing. So
Yeah,
you just need to meet up with some credits. You don't have to be science background. You just need to meet up with some credits and apply. But I don't know if schools take this for international students. And
yeah.
even if they do, it means that you still have to go through some extra classes to meet up with those extra credits. So that's something you have to discuss with the school of your choice. And yes, she's correct. A master's degree in nursing is the educational qualification. So you can go from any bachelor's to a master's degree in nursing, but then when you come out, you still have to write the NCLEX and just get your RN license. But the program she's doing, because she's already a bachelor's degree holder in nursing, she's doing the master's, and the MP is like an extra certification. If you notice, I think you're spending longer year in school than just a regular master's degree holder in nursing, because it's like an extra certification you have to write. You have to write a board exam. But if you're doing just the masters, like just educational masters in nursing, you just do like your project, the certification, and all of that. You don't have to write another board exam to be a provider. And there are different kinds of provider option. There's family, there's psych, there's adult geriatrics, there's peace, there's acute care, and the rest of that. The next question is, but the other few hours you have left, can you start using them to work once you pass the NCLEX? I think we answered that somehow. Yes, you can use your license after you pass the NCLEX to
Wow.
work. That depends on you, if you how you manage your time well and the hospital you apply to. Can I get into a master's program for midwifery?
Masters. Yeah, I mean the organization. I think I really don't know for midwifery, but I know the master's program that we have. I really don't know, but I know that there are MSN specializations. We have for MSN psychiatric, I don't know what they call it, mental health nurse practitioner,
Yeah.
adult gerontology practitioner,
Yeah.
clinic. I don't know the one for midwifery particularly. Women's health,
So there
no.
So there is the thing with the US is not every school is accredited to offer certain courses. So your school has its own course, like family nurse practitioner courses is offering. Some other schools are just RN and some other schools are just FNP and psych. So for midwifery, some schools offer midwifery. Like yes, it's masters. I think it's just midwifery is called, or masters in midwifery or something. And then there's also women's health nurse practitioner. That's different from midwifery. So, as a midwife, you can deliver children. As a women's health nurse practitioner, you cannot deliver children. You're just going to be working in like outpatient clinics and doing like OBGYN stuff. So, yes, you can get into a master's program for midwifery.
That like deliver babies. I don't know. Is that am I
For
right?
me, yes, you deliver
In
babies here.
path, yeah.
Yeah. The next question is, can I get a new nursing grad who doesn't have a license? Okay, can a new nursing grad who doesn't have a license in their home country apply for this course?
Yeah, You can, you can. I mean, that was what I did. So you can. So I was a new grad when I applied. In fact, I wrote my nursing council exam, nursing and midwifery council exam of Nigeria just a year ago, like November last year, 2022. That was when I wrote my council exam. So it's very possible. And I came here like a few months ago, so like 4 months ago. So it's very, very possible. So, but I understand that in Nigeria, once you graduate, you're not getting your license immediately. You are getting like a temporary license, then you do your internship and all of that. But I mean, there are ways around this thing. So, so what I would say was that for me to apply to the program, I did not need my local license. Yes, they just needed my bachelor's degree, my transcript. And yeah, they will ask you to, there's a place where they will ask you to upload your Nigerian license. But I just had my temporary license at that time, which I did. And I know of some other persons that are like on this part, gotten the admission to, they graduated last year too, like me. They've gotten the admission, they uploaded their temporary license and they got the admission. So if you graduated your bachelor's degree, definitely you have a license. On the day of your induction, they give you a temporary license. So you can use a temporary license to put in your application and it will go. So they are really not, for my school, I don't think they're really after your temporary license. They just want to see your bachelor's degree and your
Degree, yeah.
specific courses that you did. And they just were, oh, then you now go ahead and like agree with them about your US licensure.
Okay. But to get the NCLEX now, like with your evaluation and all of that, did you use just your temporary license or did you need to get a permanent license for that?
You need a permit. Okay, tell you, let me dish out this. There are some states in the US, you don't need your local license to get approved for the NCLEX, to get your ATT to write the NCLEX. Like me, I have two friends that just did it like 2, 3 weeks ago, and they got their ATT from New York Board of Nursing without their Nigerian license. Yeah.
New
So
York. So they will not ask for verification of license from your home country.
no, New York will no, let me tell you, they will ask if you have it, it's part of the requirement on New York Board of Nursing. They will
Yeah.
ask you. So for New York, the way it works is that there are different forms that you fill from different people. Like I also have a friend that is a Nigerian that had his bachelor's degree in the Philippines. So you know the way those Philippines and Indians do it is that when you do nursing there, you will come back to Nigeria, come and do 1 year Nigeria, write
Yeah.
Nigerian nursing so that I can get a Nigerian license. You only have bachelor's degree with Philippines and
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
give you their own license. Philippines will not give you the Philippine RN license. So you that are,
Yeah.
yeah, you will still come back to Nigeria. I have friends that came back that I met while I was working as an intern in UCH that were Philippine graduates that had to come spend 1 year in UCH to
Like
write.
what's the point? Yeah.
So it was this my friend that introduced me to somebody else that also did his bachelor's in Philippines and was like, oh, me, I cannot come back to Nigeria. That for what? I'm going to the US straight. So the person was like, how we did it was he applied to New York Board of Nursing. So they just asked for his transcript and his bachelor's degree transcript from the Philippines. So he told them that, oh, I have a bachelor's degree, like I'm a nurse, I have a bachelor's degree in nursing, but I don't have my local license because I did not school in my country. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for him, his education was approved. So there are ways around it. And I have in fact, like my best friend just went through this and she literally has an ACT for New York without a Nigerian license, without
So
even
guys,
temporary.
just sit down, New York.
So there are ways around it. So it's just ability to search and search
Yeah.
good. Like I started 2 years ago. So keep searching, keep watching videos, keep getting information from people. You will find a way around it. I mean, you just find a way around it. Yeah. So
And
that's
sometimes what they put on their website is standard. Like you can go ahead and contact them directly and explain your situation. Americans are nice. They will answer your question.
I, I'll give you
So
another example
yeah.
of like Columbia University. Like Columbia University, they have fully funded programs specifically for international students for PhD in nursing. So like they will fund you fully throughout your 5 years. and they will still pay you stipend of about 41,000, 46,000 annually, and that's huge. That's what a new grad nurse makes here. So
Yeah.
you as a PhD student, you are going to be paid so high. So all they just need from, and the admission requirement is not huge. All they just need from you is just for you to have passed the NCLEX. But then one of my friends attended their life informative section also, and she petitioned, like she told them that, oh, I'm in the process of getting my NCLEX, but I have not written my NCLEX. I just have my ATT. Can I still apply? And they're like, yeah, come ahead. If you, although their website says you must have
You
passed your NCLEX,
see? Yeah. You see?
she has her ATT, she's in the middle of getting her ATT, and they were like, she can submit her application. So even if she does not even pass her NCLEX before she gets to the US, I mean, she can come to the US without the NCLEX, and
Yeah.
it will have a condition thing. So I'm just saying, you can send emails, like,
Yeah.
sell, like that. I have this thing, but this is the way it's going
Mhm.
to answer you. They tell you that it is the,
Yeah.
or some will like attend their informative section, attend their seminars online, their Zoom calls, like talk to them, let them know who they are. Start this thing like a year before when you want to come in. Attend every informative section. Let them know you. Let them know your face. Let them know you've been disturbing them. And
Yeah.
I think that's how it works. And I
Honestly,
know,
that means anything is actually possible. And
yeah,
sometimes, like if you ask other people, they might discourage you or tell you, "Oh, this is not possible." But then just
mhm,
go straight to the source and ask the school or ask the people that made those rules by themselves. Some rules can be changed for your sake. So,
yeah. And I have
okay.
another friend of mine that I met nursing, trying to come into the US for her PhD. She was fully funded also. So our advice, so someone that is really interested in like coming to the US as a student, or you are not ready to wait to write NCLEX, wait for the US permanent residency, there's already a backlog safe. So it will take you
Yes.
like to get your PR to come here and start working. I mean, it's a long process. So I think the fastest route to get into the US is to come as a student. Although it's not student, but it's worth it. Trust me. At the end of the day, you're already in the US, so if they like, they should have backlog. You still get. Do you
And
understand?
then, yeah, you're also killing two shows. Now, if you had been in Nigeria waiting for this whole process, you'd have still be doing the internship, still be doing NYC before you now get experience, before you now start the process, get your license. But then you're already here, you're getting your master's degree, you're getting your license. So
Mm-hmm.
even when you apply for permanent resident, nobody will send you back. You're going to be here. You do
Yeah,
what we're doing. You get the license, you get the residency.
I know of another
Okay.
university, Iowa. My friend, she came in without her NCLEX for PhD masters, and I sent an email to them personally. And I was like, "Oh, can I come for my PhD also, even if I don't have my NCLEX?" And they were like, "Yes, we'll just give you like when a time limit to like take your NCLEX." So
Is
universities,
it
although
bachelor's to PhD? No masters.
she had a master's already,
Yes, master's. Okay, okay.
an email that I just have a bachelor's, and they were like, put in your application. Do you understand? That will take you. I have a bachelor's and I don't have my NCLEX, and they were like, put in your application, it will take you. So it's very, very possible. Just they won't put it straight on their websites that, oh, we'll take you without NCLEX. You have to send emails to the department personally and like let them know that you are really serious. Attend their seminars and all of that. So these things are not what you just see on the website. Schools that don't allow NCLEX, you never see that. Almost all
Yeah,
schools
I
have your
want it.
graduate program in nursing, whether master's or PhD. Every school writes on their website, but you have to go deeper. Like you have to send emails. That's what you have to like just do to be able to know the schools that will like consider you and give you like a conditional admission and all of that.
Mm, okay. So next question says, did you have to maneuver work experience or it wasn't part of the school's requirement? Because most schools I have been seeing require at least 2 years of work experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So for my school, no work experience was required. I just had like 5 months work experience. So for my school, no work experience was required. But for other schools that I have seen, especially for the PhD program, I'm like, I'm going on the PhD program because it's a ghetto. Like
Yeah.
it's do you understand what
Yeah.
I'm it's a good
Yeah. Full
like
funding.
yeah, most of schools in the US for PhD in nursing that they don't care about your work experience. They want you to come and do research. Like last year, I'm not even going to work in the hospital or in the medical field.
Hospital. Yes. Yeah.
something like that. So most of them don't have work experience requirements. Most of the schools I've seen that nursing, the work experience is not. They just want you to like come and sacrifice 5 years of your life, and then. But I mean, if you really want to leave Nigeria and you're like really desperate, you don't want to wait for the 2 years permanent resident backlog, you can go in for your PhD, like fully funded, no worries, relax, they will still pay you stipend. I mean, Columbia University is a good one to look at, but although the application is closed now for fall 2024, you might want to try again. But there are other schools. It's not just Columbia. There's University of Iowa. In fact, in New York, we have a lot of schools. There's Duke University, there's John Hopkins Universities. I mean, the PhD nursing programs are fully funded in all of the schools. So you want to look into all of that and then go ahead. So I feel people should go for their PhD nursing, especially Nigerians. It's fully funded.
But they don't have masters now. It's one thing before the other.
Go in bachelor's to PhD. You don't
you
need
can go in bachelor's to PhD.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys,
you don't need a master's, but it's just that in PhD there is masters. Do you understand?
Yeah.
First 2 years, I think,
Yeah.
and then that's when the research is exactly. So at the end of the day, you're even earning 2 degrees inside the PhD.
But then you're not going to be able to you're not going to be a nurse practitioner, because PhD is the educational route. Like if you want to be a nurse practitioner, it's DNP, Doctor of Nurse Practitioner. That's the DNP route. So that one, you can also go from BSc to DNP. So you can also search schools that I haven't done that research yet. But for us with permanent resident, of course, like it's bachelor's to DNP I'm doing. But if you're coming from outside, you have to.
Yeah,
I don't know for that.
I have a school in New York that I emailed, and they told me that if I want to come in with my bachelor's to PhD, that I would do master's, get a degree, master's degree. So, and I think with a master's degree, you can register for the board.
No, you have to do a certification again.
Oh,
in the nurse practitioner you want to do. So some of them are like 1 year, 1.5 or 6 months, depending on the nurse practitioner. You have to take classes to write their board exam, because they are different. There are lots of them. So Chairman said, you said?
I said like the DMP and the PhD program, they are very two different things.
Even if they are. Yes, they're two different things. So Chairman said, I already graduated from nursing, but not BSc, just RN. That was the person that asked that she has a RN degree, but she has a bachelor's degree in early childhood and primary education. I think you are more advantage because you have a bachelor's degree, which is you have that certification, and then you have credit already. You have courses that will meet the bachelor's degree level, and then you have your RN license, like permanent license in your home country. So you can still do the same thing we said, like make your application. You can also apply to them. The bachelor's is not in nursing, but I believe that your nursing diploma has already covered some of those maybe core nursing courses, and then your bachelor's degree must have covered your general education courses. So yes, you can apply.
You can check John Hopkins University in Maryland also. That particular university, they allow you to enter with your bachelor's in other field, and they will allow you to enter for your MSc. So you can check John Hopkins University, and it's not just only that university. I mean, so many other universities do that.
Yeah. Okay. Someone said, when you're through with your program, how will you start working? Okay, how will you start working? Seeing you have a study visa, or will you apply to start working? So let me say it again. When you're through with your program, how will you start working? Seeing you have a study visa, or will you apply to start working? I think we answered that a while ago. If you just want to briefly rephrase that question.
Okay, so once you're in the United States and you have your license, you can work. Like they're even looking for you everywhere. Work, they'll pay you. So I don't think anything is limiting you except your license. If you're in the United States and you're licensed, you can work anywhere. But it's just being on an F1 visa. There might be some limitations to the hours in which you can work. But like I said, I really don't want to like go into that. I really don't know much about that. But right now I'm just like on what I came here for and not working.
Yeah, the F1 visa has a work permit. Now, if you come in somehow for visitation, business and tourists, there's no work permit. No one is going to employ you, even if you have your license or a PhD degree. So, except they want to employ you to give you a license, which you have to probably apply through an agency and all of like just like someone that's coming from outside, and then they'll file for you. But F1 visa comes with work permit, so yes, you can work. Um, I need more information on Doctor of Nursing practice. Can I major when I'm taking the MSc in nursing? So that's a different level. It's like after master's, PhD, it's just the same thing. After master's, Doctor of Nursing practice. So it's after you're done with the MSc, you can major in that. But then you can come in, just like she said, from bachelor's to PhD. And if you're here through any means and you have your bachelor's, you can also go from bachelor's to Doctor of Nursing practice. What I don't know now is if Doctor of Nursing practice from BSc takes students directly internationally. That's what I don't know. But if you're international, you have your master. I think they should be able to take students. How is the DMP different from MP? It's the same thing. It's just higher than masters. It's but they are both nurse practice. Like if you do a master's degree and a nurse practitioner, how do I explain it now? Okay, so nursing is so complicated. So there is like the educational route and then there is the clinical route. So if you want to go the educational route, after your bachelor's degree in nursing, you get your master's degree in nursing, then you get your PhD, which is the educational route. Yeah, a doctor of philosophy. Now, if you want to go the clinical route, you want to work in a hospital, you want to prescribe, you want to be a provider, your bachelor's degree in nursing, your master's degree in nursing slash MP, the specialty of your choice. You have to choose a specialty. If you're more of a generalist, you want to do everything, the FMP, which is what she's doing, will be best for you because you can treat from peds to adults. There's psych, there's women's health, there's midwifery, there's adult geriatric, there's acute care and pediatric. That's that. And then if you want to advance, you can also go from the master's in your MP specialty to a doctor of nursing practice. So what the difference is, you do more research, you do more paperwork, you have your own publications, but you're not a PhD holder. You're a doctor of nursing practice. So you're in the clinical route. You can still teach in nursing schools and all, but you're not going to be in like the university faculty dean. I don't know, like you're not going to be doing so much of research. So it's more of the clinical route for that doctor of nursing practice. And then you can be double qualified. Like you can have your master's of nursing practice slash FMP, and then you can decide to go for your doctor of nursing practice and add psych or add something else to it. So that's it. It's the same thing. Did you write to your school for the transcript, or was it the agency that wrote to your school for it?
What agency? I don't understand. Okay.
Maybe she's talking about when you started the process.
Is it?
I don't know. We didn't mention agency at any point.
No, I didn't use any agency of any kind. But I think what she means is the evaluation company that evaluated my.
Okay.
So, did I write to my school? I don't know. Is it my school in Nigeria or where I had my
Yeah.
bachelor's? So, I
In
mean, getting
Nigeria.
very easy. Like it's, I went to Redeemers University, so it was very. So I'll say for maybe private schools in Nigeria, getting transcript is very very easy. You just pay like some money and they give it to you. I think getting transcript in other schools is maybe Unilag and the likes can be like little, you know what I'm saying. But I think it's from your school. It's not a big deal. Like just tell go to your school or you apply online. I want to get my transcript and I want it to be sent to my school in the US where I'm applying. I mean, do that for you. There's no big deal about getting transcript.
Mhm.
Get in contact with your school from Nigeria.
I think whatever, even if you're using agency or whatever, you are going to get in contact with your school. No one is going to do that for you. No matter what agency you're using, no matter the route, UK route, US route, anything, you get in contact with your school. Did you use any agency at any point, or you did the whole process yourself? I
Yeah,
did
I
the
did
whole process myself.
my God's good. No agency, nothing. Like I applied for it myself. I submitted the application myself, and I came here by myself. No agency,
Mm.
and now that is really doable. I always tell people that you don't need an agent to help you apply to schools. Like apply for yourself. Like that is when you even have getting more funding because they will know the person they are communicating with and not the agent because they want to see the student
Yeah,
information.
yeah.
Want to know who you are, put on your video when you attend this information face
Yeah.
passionate. Start a year before. Like
Mm.
attend send them emails, greet them during Christmas or holiday seasons. Build,
You've hacked the code, like.
build
Oh my
relation.
god.
It's really important.
Yeah.
Like I can remember December last year, even before I put in my application for this school, because I put in my application January and December last year, I literally sent Christmas messages to all the graduate coordinator of the nice schools that I applied to, like through an email.
Wow.
So you have to put in the effort. I sent emails. Oh my god, I sent over 300 to 400 emails, about 300 to 400 emails
Wow.
in just applications. You have to send emails. Some of them will not reply you. Some of them will ignore you. It's okay not for them not to reply you.
Mm.
Some of them might like get offended that you're probably sending them email too much, but you don't want to do that when you don't get it. And again, another thing I want to say is that if you don't get a response to your email, I mean that is not positive, and that means that school is not something you should focus on, because by the time
Mm.
you ordinary graduate coordinator, you're sending them an email and they don't respond to you in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Oh my god.
After. Don't put in your application. No. By the time you get admission, you will hustle. So any school that you see that they are not responsive in your emails is a no-go area. Like further, don't push in. So you want to go to schools in which, you send them an email today, they reply in 2 hours, they reply the next minute,
Mm. Yeah.
person and all of that. Yeah. And you have to send
It's
emails.
true.
This emails is draining. You sit down,
Yeah.
but emails, man. Yeah, I think that's the key.
Good. Okay. Someone said information is indeed power. This will really help a lot of people. I graduated from Ghana and didn't want to do the 1 year thing in Nigeria and ended up going to the UK for the 2 years master's program. Yeah, information is power. Someone said, I have RN, that's diploma in nursing, but before that, I already had a first degree. Can I apply for master with a first degree? When I come into US, I would write the NCLEX with the RN. I think we've answered this question. Yeah, we'll answer that question. Schools that offer RN to BSN admission for physical class, not online. So I said that when we started, I tried making a research for that. I couldn't find anyone that would offer RN to BSN admission for international students physical class. But then there's this school I saw. It's called Ball State University, if you want to write it down. Um, so it's a private school. They'll take you if you have an RN degree, but then I think um you have to do 15 months. No, 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 no. Sorry. They'll take you if you have a bachelor's degree. So they'll take you for accelerated bachelor's degree. If you have a bachelor's degree in nursing or in something else, they'll take you. Just like what she said for John Hopkins. John Hopkins will take you for master's. This one will take you for a bachelor's degree, accelerated bachelor's degree in nursing. But for RN to BSN physical class, I have not heard of anyone that does that. Do you know any school that do
No,
that?
no.
Someone said Job Hopkins University is very expensive. I wouldn't advise anyone who doesn't have funds to apply for their PhD. They are very good universities all over the US. You just got to do your research. Yeah. Well,
Funded for masters in nursing, PhD in nursing, John Hopkins is fully funded.
it's
Yeah,
fully funded. Okay.
masters is definitely
Yeah.
not fully. It's just PhD. Most PhD programs in the US are like fully funded.
Fully funded. Okay.
Like go for PhD, it's always better.
I think we'll spend an hour here already. So I'd want to wrap it up real quick. I think we have just one more question. One last
Mhm.
question. Will the NMCN be willing to send your temporary license to the Board of Nursing or Evaluation Board?
Absolutely not. No. Like I said, there are ways around it. I mean, you want to look at states that would take you without your local license. And I mentioned of New York. It's a good one. New York State. But so NMCN will not send you.
Okay. I think I've answered all the questions here. No more questions. We'll spend over an hour. If you have more questions, you can drop them in the comment section, and then she will. I'll ask her, and then she'll answer later. Or if I can answer them, I will.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming to this section and spending this time with us. 1 hour is a lot of time, and I hope we've answered your questions and you've gotten as much information as you can, because I have, like, some things she said I didn't know. For the New York thing, without license, without a permanent license in your country, like some schools we mentioned here, like I believe you had your paper and pen, like jotting down some things. So it's actually, anything is actually possible with research. I
Okay.
just
So I
saw one last, you said?
okay, clarify something about the New York part. So
Yeah.
if you go on their website, it's boldly written that you have to do verification of your local license. But then, if you submit your application without verification of your local license, they will still send you an email and ask you, where is your verification of your local license? Then you're going to send an email to explain yourself.
Right.
Then you want to decide, oh, will approve your application or not. So this was what my friend did. She had to, like, because they asked for a local license.
Yes. Okay.
So far, it's not just my like did this. I know three that have done this through the New York part. So it could be different for different people. For one of my, they asked her, like, why don't you have your local license? For my second friend, they did not ask her. They just approved the education. I mean, and we're all from the same background. Like, we went to nursing school together. Do you understand? So it could be different for different people. So so if it doesn't go smoothly, you want to send them an email and reach out to them that, oh, I've not got ATT or my education. Why? Then they can tell you why not.
Okay. And also, New York is one of the states that do not require an external evaluation body. Like, they don't require CGFNS, John Hop, and Josephine and all of that. They do the evaluation by themselves. You send everything directly to them. So I
Absolutely.
think it's a good one. Yeah. Let me just take this last question. Do you know about schooling MP program in Canada for someone with few years of experience?
Sorry, can you come again?
Do you know about schooling MP program in Canada for someone with few years of experience?
What I know about Canada, I mean, Canada was where I wanted to go to at the beginning.
Yeah.
When I first Canada, but then I don't have spousal visa. No fun. This thing. Canada, you have to for your immigration pathway. You have to get in by your, even if you eventually you have to, like, either come as a student or, like, who will bring you in, like, who will fight for you. I'm not qualified for
Yeah.
PR. I have it. So I think the US does not need that. The US, once you come in as a nurse, they'll give you a PR, which is that's why I chose the US over Canada. But Canada was like
Yeah.
my major. So I'll say for nurses that don't have experience and you don't have any
Few
other
years of experience.
experience, or and you don't have any other means to get into Canada, Canada is not, it's not a good advice. It's not that it's not possible. It is very possible. But most of this, like I don't know, you know Nurse Ofela now. Like, she's one
Yeah.
of the I know of Iyanu also. They're all, I mean, these
Yeah.
are the people about the Canada route. And I saw that it
Canada.
was
Yeah.
headache.
Yeah.
Canada
So
route is
yeah,
not.
we don't know about any school in Canada that does the MP program. I don't even know if Canada has the MP program. What I know, oh yeah, they do. They just open it. Their own is called whether CEN or something. I don't know much about Canada. I'm sorry. If I do,
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I said
Yes, I can
Canada
hear.
program will always ask you for a license, a
Mm,
Canadian, and then to get the license is
it's
not like
hard.
or anything. You get it. I mean, possible, but
You can't
it's
tell it. Anything is possible, my dear.
started because
Okay, all right. We've come to the end of today's section. Thank you guys for joining in, and thank you to our guests. Please
yeah,
pronounce
thank
your name. CG Bomi, right?
yeah, Oluwasejibomi.
CG Bomi. Okay. Nice to meet you again, and thank you, everyone. Take
Yeah.
care. All right. Bye.